You know when you start trying to do something that you planned out a fair amount in advance and get this darn mask up and you're just ready to crush it, and then you start doing it and you're like, WTF, man, just not feeling it. So that was just happening to me. I had another video planned that I had, written out, and I had started filming, and I just wasn't feeling it. And I was starting to feel a little stressed out by that and a little bit anxious. And so I decided to F that video for now, and I'm just gonna bring you guys on a little hike that I love to go on. And yeah, this is what I do when I feel anxious. So I figured I would just bring you along. To the place that I always come when I am feeling a little crazy. So I thought I would just take this video to kind of take you guys up my little loop that I go on and share with you the importance in my life anyway that I have found to have a go-to nature spot near your house. This place is 5 minutes from my office that I used to work at full time. Also from my house. It is really, really close. And the reason it's my favorite is not just because it's really close, but also because it has a good vertical incline, so I get good exercise. It is pretty much all the way in the forest, which has its own health benefits. And then also has 3 different loops, so it has some options and variety, so I can kind of mix it up every time I come. And then there's also a view at the top. And if you have been to the mountains or are a mountainy person, you'll know that there's something really gratifying about getting a view at the top of your hike. It makes you feel like you went somewhere. And I really feel like that today. I really feel like I need to feel like I went somewhere today, and I'm going to tell you why. So I used to work full-time as an engineer, as a civil engineer. Just until recently, actually. I've been working full-time as a civil engineer for like almost 8 years now, which is super crazy because as much as I love my current boss, I hate engineering. I got my undergrad in environmental engineering, and then when I moved to Montana, Montana's kind of behind all the other states really, so there weren't a lot of environmental firms hiring, but civil engineering was hiring, and so I got into civil engineering. And so we basically design sewer, water, and roads for new development or old development, whatever. But it was really, really quickly that I realized that I didn't want to be doing that. And also, not just that I didn't want to be doing civil engineering, that I didn't want to be engineering at all. That I wanted to just work for myself, because I realized after kind of looking around at other positions, civil engineering positions or environmental engineering positions, or all the ones that promise you whatever, the hippy-dippy stuff that makes you feel good, like environmental engineering, sustainability, and stuff like that. I realized that I was still going to be working for somebody else, and I also was still going to be working behind a desk, which is just not what I wanted. I didn't want to limit my income based on my hourly rate. I didn't want to work behind a desk all the time. So up until recently, I was working a full-time job as a civil engineer. And this week is my first full week, I'll explain that in a second, working for myself on my own creative business. Now, I say full with quotes because I don't actually do that. On Fridays, I still work as an engineer at the office. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I take care of my son and another boy. I do a mom swap with another mom. And then on Mondays and Wednesdays, she takes my son, so then I can work on my business. And it's really freaking scary starting your own business and working for your own business. I've been working on it on the side for years and years and years, but I haven't really had a lot of clarity until recently. And so I feel like in those 2 days that I have to get a lot of stuff done. And today was one of those days where things didn't go as planned, which I really should expect those days, but things didn't really go as planned. I was redoing the same things over and over again and starting to feel really frustrated. Now, when I worked in the office as an engineer, I would come to this forest trail that I'm about to bring you along with. I would go there pretty much every day at my lunch and do a little loop. But now that just like working from home a little bit, it's so easy to just fall in the trap where you just work on your own stuff all the time because you feel like you have to make progress. Whereas when you work in an office, you're like, screw this place, I'm out, peace. And then you go to lunch. And so I haven't been getting out as much as I used to. I wanted to do that today. So, all right, without further ado, I'm gonna get my boots on and gonna bring you on my hike with me. My favorite things about being out in the nature is that all of the pressure you feel when you are in town and exposed to all of the digital crap like social media, the news, all of the freaking ads that pop up when you're just browsing on your computer, all that pressure is just kind of gone out here, and you can just be yourself. And you can be by yourself. And to me, it always reminds me what's really important. And what's really important is peace and tranquility. And that is something that's really hard to come by these days. And so when I come out into the mountains, there's no competition for me. There's no pressure to be anything that I'm not. Just a human that is at peace with the world. And that is really how I feel when I'm out here. And of course, when I go back to town and dive back into all of the craziness, you know, it always kind of perks back up when you're down there in town. But out here, it really just feels peaceful and tranquil. And I feel like that is really what we should be striving for. Whatever it is that you have in your life that is steering you away from feeling tranquil and peaceful really should go. It really doesn't have much of a place in your life. And we feel so pressured to pull all that stuff into our lives for some reason, but it really doesn't matter. That's another reason why I love coming out here. Do you hear that? I feel so rooted when I hug trees. I know it's like so hippie to do, but we all have a little bit of hippie in us. I like to embrace it. Love you. I love you, Julian. Thanks, tree. You're the best. So this is kind of an aside, but I do have to think about it every time I'm out hiking, is that I have asthma. Got it from my grandpa, but I do have asthma, and I really have my asthma under control. But when I do exercise and it's really cold out, my asthma always kicks in. So as you hear, I'm kind of heavy breathing right now. It's not just from the hiking. It's the asthma. I'll just tell you guys the story really quick, I guess, while I'm out here. So nice being out here. I just don't feel like I'm in a hurry. So back in college, I lived in Northern California, and I went to Humboldt State University, so it's mushed between the redwoods and the ocean. And the air there is really, really moist, and the environment is very moldy. Like, it's a beautiful place. I very, very much miss it. But my asthma was so bad because of the moistness. Are you one of those people that don't like the word moist? I have a cousin that doesn't like the word moist, and she cringes every time she hears it. But anyway, the environment is moist there. I don't know what else to say. And my asthma was really, really, really bad. One time I went to go see a naturopath there, and I was hoping that he could help me with my asthma. The guy sat me down, and he just told me to breathe. He's just like, let me watch you breathe for a second. So I was breathing, and he told me that I was breathing wrong. what? He's like, well, when you breathe, I can see your shoulders go up and down. That means that you're breathing from your chest instead of your stomach. So that day, he taught me how to breathe. And it has changed my life. I am turning 35 this year, so now about 10 years, I've been able to implement the strategy to breathe correctly and also just get my asthma under control. Like when I'm out in a setting like this and I'm hiking and it's cold and my asthma is starting to set in, I can get through it just fine. Like it might bother me a tiny little bit, but basically the whole like breathing into your belly thing is super legit. And when you breathe from up here, from the top of your chest, you're straining your muscles, like your back and your chest muscles, and you're not getting that much air in. Even when your chest is tight, you can breathe into your stomach and get so much air that you don't even feel like you have breathing problems at the moment. So that's what I do. And it's totally changed my life. So even though my chest right now feels tight, I can breathe into my belly and I feel like I'm getting tons of oxygen. Mentally, it gets really hard when you're an asthmatic because it's scary as hell to not be able to breathe. Not only is it painful, but it's so freaking scary. If you've ever had an asthma attack, you know it's just freaking scary. And so if you breathe into your belly, you actually get plenty of oxygen. I don't know if there are any asthmatics watching this, but that's my tip for you. I have 11% left on my camera, so I just wanted to leave you guys with a quick ending note to this video before my camera died in case I don't get to say goodbye. Thanks for coming on this with me. I started this YouTube channel last summer knowing that next summer we're moving to our dream property and building a cabin on it and building our homestead. And I started this YouTube channel knowing that I wanted to document that process when we moved down there. And I knew that there was going to be a really steep learning curve, but I wanted to kind of get up the steep learning curve of the YouTube and the cameras and the videography and how to edit videos and all that kind of stuff before we moved out there, so I had a little bit under my belt. And so far, I've been really wanting to make kind of a walk and talk thing like this, but I haven't done it yet because I don't know why. I've had all these other video ideas in my mind that I've done, but I've done them at home and I feel just really restricted. And maybe my anxiety and my frustration today, its purpose was to bring me out here to make this video for you guys out in nature, which is exactly what I've been wanting to do. I've been wanting to come out in nature and just make a video out here because it just feels so much more natural for me and so much more beautiful. And now that I'm done it, I think I'm hooked. And I don't know why I can't just bring my camera once a week and go on a walk and talk with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this and I hope you guys took something from it. My main point of this video, in addition to just bringing you along on my regular hike that I do, I really just wanted to encourage you to find a go-to spot in your local area that is close to you. It doesn't even have to be mountains like we have here. Like if you just have a park or something, go and enjoy it. Go and be in it. I don't remember what the name is right now, but there's a Japanese phrase that literally means forest bathing. I'm gonna look it up when I edit this video, and the word is it literally means forest bathing. There have been studies that have shown that people's stress and anxiety and all the friction that they feel in their daily life reduces and their wellness increases when they come out in nature. And I truly think it's because we are from nature. We belong in it. We should be in it a lot more than we are. So wherever nature you have nearby you, just go to it and make it your go-to spot and get to know it really well. There's so much to learn out here and so much tranquility to feel that I really hope you can find that for yourself and regularly visit it and get to know it. So with that being said, thanks for being here and thanks for being on this channel. As I make this video right now, I have 34 subscribers, which is so small, but I'm so grateful for you 34 subscribers. That makes me feel so good. I don't know. Can't wait to get to know you more. Till next time, guys. Ha ha ha!